Principal Voices, in association with Shell.
Huge advances in technology are resulting in people and communities taking a more proactive approach to the world around them. We travelled to Norway to meet a passionate innovator who is paving the way for inventors across the globe.
We've had a digital revolution, but we don't need to keep having it. We can declare success, we won. What's coming now is the digital revolution in fabrication. All around the world, we're finding these amazing people, these amazing ideas.
Professor Neil Gershenfeld, director of the Center for Bits and Atoms at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, is the pioneer of a remarkable project that is taking digital fabrication technology to ordinary people across the globe. Its inspiration came straight from the realms of science fiction.
Digital fabrication started with taking seriously the vision of the Star Trek replicator, of the molecular assembler that makes anything, and it's led to this global revolution in fab labs.
Fab labs, or fabrication laboratories, are high-tech, low-cost workshops equipped with the tools to make almost anything.
It's a program looking at how the digital world relates to the physical world. Millions of dollars of equipment at MIT are like the mainframes of digital fabrication. We can make anything we want using those tools. In 20 years, we'll make it so you can have it in the home. The fab labs are in between. If I do L, this goes left. If I go R, this goes right. This is using a new part we've added to the fab inventory called the H-bridge.
The first Fab Lab opened in inner-city Boston in 2002, spreading quickly to communities around the world from Asia to Africa, Europe and beyond.
As these labs have gone in the field, there's a kind of a flow we see through them. It starts with technical empowerment, just people discovering they can do it.
There are now over 25 operational labs, with 25 more planned.
We didn't have an agenda, certainly not one for global development. Every time we open a lab, somebody pulls us to a new one. This is an adiabatic taper to like a ground plane.
Through the creation of Fab Labs, communities have been given the tools to solve local issues. Projects have included the development of antennae for wireless networks, wind turbines to generate energy, and analytical instruments for agriculture and healthcare.
What we find is people don't just need information on the screen, they need it out in the world where they live. For healthcare, for education, for jobs, for everything, you need to measure the world, you need to interact with the world.
Far above the Arctic Circle, the arrival of a Fab Lab has helped the community solve local challenges.
This part of Norway is almost biblically perfect. The Fab Lab started here, driven by Håkon the herder, who has had a vision of bringing appropriate technology to transform life here, initially tracking the animals in the mountains.
The Fab Lab gives possibility to solve problems, to develop things, to establish small companies, and to make things happen in local communities.
Let's go around now. Education is integrated in a setting like this, and if people help teach each other, that leads into local problem solving.
And the same applies to the developing world.
I feel it's very important to have Fab Lab in the developing countries because there's so many opportunities and resources that are unexploited. Like in Kenya, we have a lot of sunlight, and we really need to trap the energy of the sun to make it very useful for the locals.
Fab Labs have adopted the principles of open source development and bottom-up management.
Energy, communication, computation, just to say the words, they sound big. They're being tackled as billion-dollar mega projects top-down. Fab Labs is tackling them from the bottom up. Instead of spending vast amounts of money to send computers and energy and communication around the world, you can spend much less to send the means to create it.
Access to the tools of fabrication has created would-be inventors in unexpected places.
When we first set up the lab in Ghana, we had designed a little networked sensor, and there was an 8-year-old girl who refused to leave the lab until she made it and stayed up late at night mastering all the skills to do fairly advanced electronics for the love of it. We've been delighted to find that kind of joy of invention and discovery is distributed all over the world.
For Gershenfeld, the potential is endless.
Ultimately, I'm continuing to do what I'm doing because we're learning more than we're teaching. 5 billion people aren't a looming problem, they're a looming source of knowledge.